Alice is a girl who is just this side of flunking out of Franklin. Uh, she you know very aware that this is her last chance. Um, she's a sophomore, 16. She's got a good group of friends, the five of us, namely. Um, and that's that's all she really cares about. Um, she's put school off to the side, and it's not so much that she cares about flunking out of school uh, on its own. It's that she realizes that we would all be disappointed if that were to be the case. She's okay, you know, going on uh, and you know dropping out, but she's sort of coming to terms with the fact that if that happens, we're all going to be really sad about it, and we'll be there for her, but it doesn't have to be this way. This is finals week, and I think that she's probably done a little bit more studying than usual. Um, Hollis, when we get to you, you can maybe tell us a little bit about what life was like this past week or two, um, as we were all getting ready for finals, and what you've seen of Alice, or maybe she hasn't been around. Maybe she's been studying elsewhere. Um, maybe over at Julius. Um, so that's sort of where Alice is academically. Um, personally, she has a strong sense of right and wrong, and is willing to stand up for other people and herself is needed, but uh, she she's there for you when you need her. Um, as for Morgan, uh, Morgan moved out of town uh, last year. She was there just for the uh, the first semester of freshman year, um, and her parents decided that they wanted to go explore the world, uh, come hell or high water. Uh, sure, they had a daughter, but she could come along. Seeing the world would be great, and it would be a learning experience. Who needs to take you know U.S. history and European history and history of the world? Go out there and explore it. Live life to its fullest. So Morgan's parents sort of dragged her from the West Coast uh, on a long and winding car trip. Took a couple of months um, down to the south, back way up to the Midwest and just the border of Canada, just to cover as much land as possible, uh, and then made a beeline for Florida and up to New York, and bought a plane ticket for whatever was next. They had no plans, but we had one suitcase apiece, and though we had been traveling east for about 2 months, the first thing available was Japan, and so we hopped on a plane at JFK and flew to Tokyo. Um, ironically, we had to stop in San Francisco for a layover, and that was just really tough on Morgan. Um, she was so close to all of you again, and then all the way across the ocean. Um, she's done her best to keep in touch, um, and her parents have been, trying to homeschool her with whatever uh, they could get online. It took a month or so before they realized like we should probably talk with the Franklin Academy guidance counselors and see what we could do that would let Morgan graduate um, on time still. Uh, and so they've been sort of getting through a bunch of general education requirements essentially. Um, and it is uh, pretty much a year after this trek. And for Christmas, they've decided to come back and uh, let Morgan come back to Silent Falls for the holidays. So she is thrilled. She is not here in town with you right now, but will be flying in, uh, you know, at a narratively appropriate time after we finish character creation and world building. Um, so let's go around, and I guess in that same order there. What what is a question that people have for me about either Alice or Morgan?
Did you and Alice keep in touch regularly, or have you guys drifted away?
Alice, it was hard to connect to folks because my parents didn't let me uh, use a cell phone much during the car trip. It was all about, exploring the world and seeing what's out there. Uh, and so it was tough, and I sort of got used to that, which maybe was good for Morgan. Um, but yeah, I kept in touch with her as best I could. Um, and she is someone I'm excited to go back to see and catch up because there's a bunch that I've missed.
Also, a question connected to that about Alice is Alice like sort of a introvert? Is or
No, I would say
or
that she's
she's
extroverted. She
oh
certainly,
okay.
yeah, she's not like avoiding school and people. She just doesn't care about her grades. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, but no, she has uh, you know, good friendships and is willing to put herself out there and be in the public eye. We'll get to David in a bit, but he was really mean to her, and she called him out on that um, big time in the cafeteria. Um, but and before we
So
get
what
over
did
there, let's yeah, go ahead.
sorry. What did Morgan and Alice bond over? Like what brought them together as friends?
Yeah, um, we were both on the softball team in middle school. Um, it was uh, like not part of the school team. They didn't have that at that age. Um, but yeah, we played softball together, both outfielders. So none of the kids could hit the ball that far, and I was uh, center and she was right, and uh, we sort of just moved closer and closer together and chatted as much as we could um, while waiting for anything interesting to happen. So yeah, we bonded over that for a couple of years in middle school.
Did y'all's families get along? Or did y'all kind of have to
Hmm.
argue, like hide it from your parents?
Uh, No, I think they got along. Yeah. The the Bridges were sort of oblivious to what Morgan wanted in terms of connecting with Alice as a friend, so they didn't have anything against it. Um, and I think the Briarwoods uh, liked to see Alice connecting with other people. Nice. What else do people want to know?
Something you guys conversed about.
Oh, I thought you meant your idea was something that had already been brought up right now. No, something
Oh.
that that Morgan and Alice conversed about.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
uh, um, yeah, so we we talked about boys in the outfield, um, and it was just like little snippets. Um, so it wasn't a lot of like in-depth conversations. Um, and then when we, you know, all got back with the whole team, it was back to like softball stuff, and um, Alice sort of seemed to be uh, interested in the same guys that Morgan was interested in, and whether that was just because they happened to be, cute, or because she was just sort of trying to agree with like, oh yes, this is what Morgan likes. That's what I should like too. Um, I don't know. Anything else, or should we go to Evan?
When would you say the last time you talked to Alice?
Hmm. About 2 weeks ago, um,
Okay.
I was able to get some reception, and we were, I don't know, yeah, let's say that we had come back to Japan, um, sort of made our way east and west and west and east, and just sort of no sort of direction. Um, about 2 weeks ago, it was from Japan.